Where's the remote? Found it.
Turn off the lights.
All right.
Did you grab the drinks?
Yeah, I got them.
Okay, I'm making the popcorn.
It's starting. Come on.
All right. Okay, I'm here. Hit the button. Hi,
Oh,
I'm
you
Jill.
go first. Sorry.
Hi, I'm Jill.
And I'm Gianna. And welcome to the We Watch It All podcast, where we watch it all and give you our opinions.
AKA the opinions no one ever asked for. Sorry, I gotta move my boy a little closer.
Alrighty. And this is a Halloween special episode. Woo!
Ooh, spooky.
Oh, Cooper didn't like that. He wasn't into
Sorry,
that spookiness.
Papa. You're a cat. You're supposed to be like, ooh, scary.
He's an orange cat. Sissy's a black cat.
You should see the look he's giving me. It's like,
yeah, I can kind of see the side eye.
Never been so embarrassed. I know.
So we've been wanting to do at the end of every month, our plan was to do a bonus episode of like whatever we'd binge throughout the month, or just, a themed episode basically.
Yeah. But life gets in the way.
Well, the September and August when we first started, we gave you a lot of bonus content that we weren't planning. We did Selena a Chef.
Not a full bonus.
This is a sit down. Yeah. Also, we did a lot of bonus episodes on YouTube also the past few times. And if you're a returning listener, you may go, what's that sound? It sounds so crispy. We're back! The computer's fixed! Woohoo!
Sure, I'll let her have it, even though we all know she was a little bit crazy. Pick an episode, any episode, and you'll see the crazy. Just trust me, you'll see the crazy.
Yeah.
But I don't care.
Past and/or episode 7, some stuff happened. Yeah, that would be, but this is the old computer.
I was just wondering what that was.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a little scratch.
That's right, don't dig into it.
Alright, so on our Halloween episode here, we're going to talk about some of our favorite sitcom episodes from those. Now,
because we are not...
we're not scary watchers.
Yeah, no, sorry.
Maybe one day if this podcast can be... our only main job and we're financially supported by this podcast, because then yes, I will watch a scary movie for money.
No.
It has to be a certain scary movie.
Which would be what?
Like Jaws.
Okay, but I don't think that's what...
Like I can't watch Michael Myers or Scream because that could be too realistic.
Yeah,
and I can't watch a psychological thriller. And then I'm not Paranormal Activity because not that I'm a little bit, I believe in ghosts, but I don't believe in bad ghosts, so there's that. You know what I mean? I believe in good ghosts. So it's kind of, but that still freaks me out. So.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I can't watch it because I have severe anxiety.
Yeah, no, I just don't know. No, thank you.
And my dreams are already weird enough.
No, I had too many years of make sure my covers are so tucked in that no one can get from under my bed.
Yeah, you looked at me and you're like, you let your feet hang off?
Yeah, no, there's no feet hanging out.
I will
never catch my feet uncovered.
No, well, mostly because Cooper traps your feet under the blanket.
Well, that too, but never, yeah.
I have to do it because
let's
my
just wrap
feet
it up.
sweat.
Bring it in. They
yeah,
just had a delicious dinner.
4 courses, is that?
It was almost, so they need to just come on, and Cooper's ready to go night-night, and Sissy... Oh, I'm sorry. Oh. Wow, but thank you.
Good answering.
Wow. Yeah, they were really up and...
All right, but
get your sister.
I also want to point out that I watch a lot of sitcoms. I'd say if you could pick any genre of show, sitcoms is for me.
I'm more reality.
You're reality, a little bit drama and action, I think. You really do pull... Like, you watch even, like, the Grey's Anatomies and all the... Like, I think that's a drama show.
Yeah, I will
you
watch
do watch
the typical...
comedies,
Yeah, those are the typical female shows, I think, that, like, you're just not drawn to.
Do you watch your demographic shows? Let's just say that.
Yeah, I also...
You fit the demographic. If somebody...
I do like my reality shows. I'm not going to lie. I've liked reality shows from way back when... The Real World came on MTV.
I do always remember you watching like reality shows and drama shows.
Yeah, I was big. That was like the first real reality show that I can ever remember. They were like the innovators, was the MTV Real World, and they were in New York. So I thought it was interesting because it was
Can I throw a rogue one out too? I remember even watching like Tori Spelling's reality show.
Oh yeah, no, I mean I like them all.
Yeah, you watched everything.
Listen.
Well, you like 90210.
I ain't even gonna pretend. I'm a voyeur. I love to watch. I love to know what's going on in people's lives. Like I love to know like what makes you tick. And if I can watch you doing it, like, see you, like, I'm happy to see.
When we go to New York, she tries to look in people's windows.
Well, that's only because those are really high-rise buildings, and you got to know what those things look like in there. It's not so much the people.
Like, how much, like,
I don't care about the people. I just want to see what the apartment looks like.
Yeah,
I just want to see what the apartment looks like. You don't got to be home. Just leave your lights on so I can see what kind of furniture and stuff and how you decorated.
All right, well, so yeah, we're going to do sitcoms. So we'll tell you the sitcoms we're going to watch. And then we'll tell you about the categories. Do you want to tell them the ones that we've picked to watch?
Sure.
now you can tell us what we did, because I just want to take a pause because we just, we're back in this setup, so I realized the mic was a little bit closer to me.
Yeah, but no, we're now allowed to sit on the couch again. So, because the other laptop used to have to remain open. It was a whole big...
Lifestyle podcast, you wait for that one, we'll get to it.
Yeah, so now we're allowed to sit back on the couch, so we had to make sure the setup was
She just
right.
has to let me know when she's going to move so we can take a pause and fix it.
Old lady takes leg breaks, so that's what we're going to do.
Listen, I can move my legs
plan.
too.
Okay, well,
so
I never see you do.
Sometimes I do.
Okay. Well, so far so good.
All right, well, let's tell them what we're watching.
We watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Season 4, episode...
Well, no, just tell them the titles of the shows.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, do the titles, and then we'll tell them the shows we watched, and then we'll get into the titles when we talk about the episodes.
Okay, so Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Superstore, Modern Family, Abbott Elementary, Big Bang Theory, Friends, and Parks and Rec. Now, these came off of something, for me anyway, the ones that I chose, and some of hers were on there as well, the same ones. I Googled, best Halloween comedy episodes, and that's how we figured out what they were. Some of those shows, I've watched, but...
well, let me say this. Out of everything, the only shows I have not truly watched is Big Bang Theory and Friends. But I do have, a little bit of pre-knowledge on the shows. Because
everybody
we
kind
talk
of knows.
about, Friends, everybody knows, and we talk about Dean all the time. Yeah. And religiously, if you walk into his house, it's either a sporting thing or Friends
is playing in the background. Yes. Yeah, it's really... It's weird.
It's insane. It's insane.
It's like somebody...
Friends if you could should pay them for promotion.
If you could have stock in Friends, they definitely do.
Do they not? They may.
No, I don't think they do.
And you watch Big Bang Theory, so I've heard that in the back. And as far as the other ones, they're my favorite shows.
I used to watch Big Bang Theory all the time, and then I caught up with a lot of the ones that I caught it midway, and then I started going back and trying to catch up with them. And then I lost a little bit somewhere because something happened. I don't know if it was me or them or I don't know. I just got sidetracked with them, and then so now.
Well, I remember you started because it was really big at your job, and then I think you just switched jobs, so maybe you just forgot about it because it wasn't in your job.
It was somebody that talked about it, and that's how I got
Remember,
into
you guys had the poster of Sheldon in the closet.
Yeah, it was Miss Jill and all them. Yeah.
Yeah. You could assume she's Miss Jill because she was also Miss Jill.
Yeah. It was great.
So yeah, hilarious. So we at least you have mostly pre-knowledge of the other two shows, and the other 5 shows are my favorite shows ever. So I got all the knowledge on that.
She talks about them incessantly, so I kind of knew who was who, but I just didn't know names and kind of stuff.
So instead of telling you play-by-play what happens in the episode, we decided to we're gonna talk about some of the costumes they wear, pick our favorite out of the costumes from each episode that we watched. Can it be watched on its own? So today on Halloween, when you're listening to this, can you turn these episodes on and
just be I just want a bunch of Halloween episodes? And is it truly Halloween themed?
Yeah, that theme did not come out until one of my shows really severely disappointed me.
Well, yeah, because I mean, some of them you think they're going to be, but not necessarily. Look, Halloween's not for everybody because, as a matter of fact, I did ask. The typical question is you ask people, what's your kid going to dress up as or whatever. And I know I asked a gentleman that he is African, and I asked him, does his kids celebrate Halloween? And he said no. They do not believe in that. They don't believe in the spirits. And
yes, there was a girl I used to go to school with. So she actually did not come to school on Halloween because of religious
That's against
beliefs.
Her religious beliefs and stuff. Yeah, I mean, some people don't get that deep into it, and they just think their kids getting dressed up and are going for candy. But some people do believe that you're not supposed to, I guess, either imitate someone else or do or that if you are,
Halloween is very tied with witchcraft and things like that. So I know witchcraft is a big point for a lot of people.
So I'm sure for these shows,
as we believe,
it's also very tricky because they have at Christmas time, it's you celebrate holiday parties, so that it's very tricky.
Yeah.
But so I think for these shows, do you go full blown Halloween scary boo hoo hoo, or do you just So, that's why we said, all right, we're going to see, how they handle the theme of Halloween. So, we'll go there a little bit.
And then the other thing we're going to talk about, too, is set decorations. How do they decorate for the set? Because most of these are kind of like a workplace. With, they have, they have their set, They don't drift off, and they're not building new sets every week.
Yeah.
So, how did they spice it up enough to do that? Now, one thing I wanted to talk about, which I think is so funny, in all these shows, the episodes are either 5 or 6, episodes 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Because typically sitcoms always air in the fall, so I guess it just happens that it's on the 5th or 6th week of airing.
Yeah, because I think I think it's like the second week in September that shows start to come out.
Yeah, especially these shows, they're like the big ones. So I just always thought that was funny.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
But
actually,
everyone is either 5 or 6.
Yeah.
I think maybe there was one that wasn't. No.
Yeah, Abbott was 2.
No, Abbott is actually 6. Oh, it's season 2, episode 6.
Oh, I wrote the wrong thing then. Okay.
Nope, Abbott's 6.
I don't think Friends put down what their episode was.
I think it was 6 also.
Oh, well, there you go.
Which we forgot that one. Maybe I wrote it down. I'll have to let me see it. Maybe I got it. 6.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine was what?
Also 5. It's 5 or 6. One thing I did want to touch, because like I said, I've watched the majority
that's
of
an easy way if you want to find Halloween themes.
Just look at 5 or 6. You don't even have to go that far in the season.
Yeah, look at episodes 5 or 6, and then you probably will find the episodes for your favorite sitcom or whatever.
Now, I do want to give a little spoiler warning for these shows. Because we said we're not going into detail, but something I've noticed in watching so many of these Halloween episodes, not even just the episodes that we've watched, they can be such pinnacle episodes to the whole season. Like, for example, I think it's season... What season did we just do? So in season 5 of Parks and Rec, Ben proposes to Leslie. That's obviously huge for the main couple in the show. Tom also gets his idea to come up with Rent-A-Swag, which is like his main business. I mean, he goes through another one, but still, it's like a pinnacle point in the show. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, we didn't watch this one, but in the next year's heist in season 5, Jake proposes to Amy using the heist. In Superstore, it's where the new district manager finds about the union cards, because unionizing was a really big plot point. Even in Abbott, I think now you can agree, because I talk about this in our weekly podcast, but I think even you could tell Janine and Gregory are moving closer into a relationship. They're talking about more personal things in their lives, and I would say.
Yeah, I think some of them did, and some of them... Oops, sorry.
No, some of them are just fun.
Yeah, and then some of them are just fun, but...
At least, like, the NBC shows, I think, you can really see that.
Well, I took note of that. I think the NBC shows kept their...
Oh, our rice is done. Damn it.
How many beeps does it do?
I don't know.
Jeez. Okay.
I've never noticed it beep that much. Maybe because you're just right there and you open it right away.
I guess.
Well, now the NBC shows.
It's going to cool down for 10 minutes now. So
we're fine. We got 10 minutes, so we have to open the lid.
So, yeah, I noticed the NBC shows tend to keep their plot going within it, which was interesting. Like, they definitely... Like, some of the shows just had, like, something specific they were doing or something, but some of them had, like, there were still, like you said, like, these things that if you didn't watch this, you'd be like, whatever. But if you did watch it, you might not know it was a pinnacle thing. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
engagements, everybody always assumes is a big thing, but still, I'm just saying, like, I did not know that was a huge moment. You did because you're a watcher of, you know, but.
I think only Abbott, Modern Family, and I don't know where Big Bang Theory aired. I think that was... CBS? Was that CBS? I think it's CBS.
Yeah, they're CBS.
And then obviously Modern Family and Abbott are ABC, so they're the only ones that are not. And Friends is NBC, but they're the only ones that were not on NBC. So we pretty much either picked NBC, ABC, or CBS. Mm-hmm. Also, you can find. We also wanted to pick things that are on the easiest, I think, or cheapest subscription places.
Yeah, it turned out that way, I think, yeah.
Yeah, so
Peacock
or HBO Max, and then Abbott you can either watch on ABC on TV or on Hulu, because that's where I watch it. But Hulu's also, if you get the cheapest plan, it's cheap. So it's not too bad. But we picked the cheaper ones, considering there's Netflix out there, but Netflix has no funny shows. Okay, I also, before we go into talking about the shows, I wanted to say some ones that I think, some sitcoms that I've watched that I'm like, there was no Halloween episode for it, like, because... You know, I've watched these, but I don't have a great memory. Mm-hmm. So I went to look at other sitcoms, and I was like, really? These aren't a Halloween episode? The Good Place, I mean, it's kind of hard to fit into there, but
I think they could have done one.
I mean,
it's about heaven and hell. I mean, not for heaven, but you could have tied that in with hell.
No, I know, but I just feel like...
Even if it was that they don't celebrate it because of that or something like, you know, they could have...
I think they definitely should have done one. Let me tell you, that show gets so much crazier. If you've never watched A Good Place, I highly recommend it. It's definitely my best on the overall thought of creating a show, The Good Place. Then Schitt's Creek. How have they not had one? The costumes that I think that family would have came up with would just be so good. Like, I mean, literally Moira's in a costume every episode almost. But you know what I mean? I just think it would have been interesting. And then my other one too, it is one of my favorites, but because of how it ended up not being top of my list. But Kim's Convenience, I think that also would have been a really good family to see in a costume. You don't know anything about this one, but
I actually tried to watch that. Yeah, I tried to watch the first one, and
it was,
I don't know what happened that I just didn't get into it or something.
Yeah, it was good, and then they messed with the cast and the season and everything, so it ended up bad.
Yeah, I think I didn't give it enough.
And then one
try.
more. This is kind of like a half one. One Day at a Time, they end up doing a Halloween episode when they got on Pop TV, but no one knows about the 4th season on Pop TV because of you can't find it anywhere now.
Yeah.
But I think that family would have also, like, if it was in the first 3 seasons, would have killed a Halloween episode because they're just so funny. So those were my people that I feel like I should mention since I do watch so many sitcoms.
Probably the only one that I'd have to say was maybe that show that I watched, that Call Me Kat, because
And there's still time.
Yeah, I mean she.
I wonder if this week is a Halloween episode. Imagine.
Oh, it could maybe. I don't know. But they. I just think plus her thing is that she has cats and stuff in her.
Oh my god, dress the cats up.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like I could see her doing something like that. I don't think she did, to be honest with you, even in the first one. So I don't know.
First season, they don't really typically go all in on the Halloween stuff. I feel.
I'm not even gonna lie though. I'm really surprised that she. I think it's a funny show, but I also like her a lot. But I'm still surprised that she got a second season because I just thought people weren't going to respond to it for some reason. Because she is a particular type of
comedy.
Yeah, she is kind of, I don't want to say she's like wholesome, but she's a little bit more on the wholesome side of things where I think
not as crude humor.
Yes, she's
but
not
there's
that.
Still an audience. Not everybody has the same sense of humor, clearly, because you don't like my comedy shows. So
No, I know, but I just find that I just thought, she was. I was hoping that she would like the shows that I hope people will like, so that they come back, so that I can keep watching them. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I was concerned. I was very concerned for her that she wasn't gonna come back, but she did. I was very surprised when I heard.
All right. Shall we get into our shows now?
Yes.
And then we're gonna rank them once we talk about them all. So you have like a better idea of maybe why we ranked them the way we did. But we'll share that too. Yeah. All right. What show do you have first?
The Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Okay. No, I had Parks and Rec at the top. It's fine.
Oh, yeah.
We'll do Brooklyn Nine-Nine first. All right. Do you want to share your thoughts first, since this is my show typically?
Sure. So, I mean, like we said, we're not really going to go too deep into the show, but it was obviously the premise of their Halloween thing is that it is themed. They have a heist amongst themselves.
They've done this every season since season 1. Just a little bit of like, she's watching me hold the water near the laptop.
Just a little close to the laptop. But.
Sorry. No, they've done one every year, and they do it all the way to the final season. Like, this is their, like, shtick, you would say. Like, how it's their trope.
So, I mean, was it really Halloween related? Not really, in my opinion. It was a heist.
Because let me say, they do end up changing the holiday.
No.
Like, they, at one point, because it's always on Halloween, towards the seasons, they do start trying to do it on a different holiday as well.
Why?
Just to shake it up, like.
Oh. Well, that's what I'm saying, though. It wasn't really Halloween related per se, but what I feel they did was they tried to, which I think is what I was saying in the beginning, like where it is tricky to celebrate Halloween and not maybe perhaps offend a certain group or nationality or religion or something.
Yeah.
So I think this was an interesting way to go about it without, like, just to, I don't want to say, like, point out the holiday, but, like, do something specific on that day that's not necessarily like witch or ghoul or party related.
Well,
like
also,
it was
like,
a different.
It's like, since these are all workplaces, like, like how much, like, what would the other thing be, like police patrolling the streets for like Halloween? Like, that would be boring.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, this was a good way to do it because you can do this like as a like an anniversary type thing. You could bring it back every year, like you're telling me. They do it bigger every time, or something crazy happens every time. Like, they have a different reason for what goes on in it. So, like, because like this one, they were who was going to be the best of the best of the best or whatever. Like, because they were not agreeing on who won last year and the year before or whatever. But so I mean, I think it's a smart way to celebrate Halloween without actually getting too deep into like people wearing witch costumes, because that can be an issue, or So, I mean, I think it was a smart idea on how to do it. And as far as like set decorations, I thought they were really on the money for, because I could see that would be what a precinct would look like.
Yeah, like it's just you
like,
know like
they're kind of a little bit cheesy, but kind of like somebody ran out to the dollar store to get them, because that's what you could see in a precinct. Like so I mean, I thought that as far as like that, it was on point. Like you knew it was Halloween without it being like ooh crazy.
I will say I specifically did pick this episode out, like because like I said, in the Heist in the Future they do drift a little bit further away from Halloween. I picked this one out specifically because who ends up being the heist winner I thought was the most interesting one and the funniest one. So I will spoil and say it is Gina from the show.
You know what? And in my mind, I was guessing her because she was just gone.
Yeah, well, I liked it because they do so. Typically, so the winners were already Jake, Amy, and Captain Holt. So they were going to have them see who was going to be the ultimate winner, and then they had them break into teams. She ends up leaving, but they kind of do have you kind of like guessing, like, oh, maybe it could be Terry, you know, like how she really planned it, set it out. Like
she planned it out really well. Like I like that where you don't know, you can't.
Yeah, like the audience's guess keeps you guessing as well. Yeah. So that was one of my favorite things about this one. As far as costumes, there's no costumes. Nobody dresses up. I think some people were people in the back dressed up?
I don't know. If maybe they were people from like actual people that came in getting arrested or something.
I don't even remember.
No, I don't think anybody was. Although Gina was dressed up as.
That's her sweatshirt. Gina knows best.
No, she was dressed up as the other girl, Amy.
Oh, she does dress up as Amy. Yeah, right.
Technically, so. Yeah.
But that sweatshirt that she also has, Gina knows best. It's an iconic sweatshirt for her. As far as can it be watched solo? I mean, you could share your opinion because I
thought it could. I mean, I thought it could. I think it's another one of those that like. I feel like the relationships between the characters, I felt like this one I had a lot more questions to ask you, like, well, why is that one doing that and what's that one doing that?
Yeah.
Because, like, of course, once you said, Jake is best friends with Boyle. Okay, well, that makes sense now why. Because I was like, all right, you already knew why they picked Boyle.
Yeah.
Why the captain picked Boyle to be on his team opposed to somebody else. Because you knew they were best friends and it would throw him off his game. Like, so it's like, to me, I had to kind of wait to be fully into the episode to hear the reasonings or to see so like, I do feel like if I had watched it and I knew those little intricacies that they had amongst themselves, I think that it would have made it maybe more funny. That saying goes for
all the shows, like true. Like,
some of them, yeah. Some of them I felt I could watch without knowing all their little quirks and stuff.
I do, because also, like, I think one of the big things, which is my comment with when I even look at it, I try to look at it from an outside perspective. Like, the couples, I think, a lot of these ones that we picked are earlier in the season, so the couples are not fully established, or they're right in the middle of being established.
See, these two as a couple, Jake and Amy. Well, there, look, I gave them a name. Jake and Amy.
Jamie.
I gave them their ship name.
There you go.
I could tell. I knew they were a couple right away for some reason, and I knew somebody was a couple with him, and she was a couple with somebody, but I didn't know it was them two together. But when I watched it, I picked up right away that they were a couple. So they were not a hard couple to identify. Mm-hmm. So
and nobody else in the precinct is dating.
Yeah.
I do. I think you could watch it on your own. I think though, I kind of said in my opinion, like it's more like it's like a Marvel movie. Like you can watch Marvel movies on their own. But there is something more enjoyable about them when you have a little. That's what I'm saying. Like even like if you had watched all the heists. I think if you wanted to watch all the heists, which I do know Peacock has like a selection for all their Halloween episodes, so you could watch all the heists and go that way. I think you would probably actually enjoy watching all the heists. But I do think having that little bit of predetermined knowledge is.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. I think it would have been better, but. All right. So what do we have second?
Superstore.
Oh yes.
Now. Superstore. I've just rewatched
season 5, episode 6.
Yeah, Trick or Treat.
Treat.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine was Halloween 4, season 4, episode 5. Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is Trick or Treat.
Trick or Treat.
Trick or Treat.
That's what it said. It was Trick or Treat.
Oh, Trick or Treat might be a copyrighted phrase, so maybe that's why they can't use it.
Oh, I don't know. Who would copyright it though?
Mr. Halloween. I don't know.
But it's like Happy Birthday. Who copyright? Well, I guess the man that created that song. But
that's a song, so that's different.
Yeah. Okay.
I think their Halloween episodes are some of my favorite. I was actually torn between showing you 2 episodes. Same with Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I was going to show you the one where Jake and Amy get engaged, just because that is a very pinnacle episode for the whole show, but I didn't feel like it was the best one. Mm-hmm. Now, the other one I was going to show you was they did a Halloween contest which they do reference in the beginning of the show, which is one of my opinions where I do think this one, you can watch it on your own, but that part, when she mentions, oh, we can't do the contest because they don't want to get into, like, doing another, like, training for them because of the race thing, they basically, somebody came in an elaborate costume last year, so they started picking everything. Like Mario, they were like, you can't dress up as Mario because it's offensive to Italians. So that episode was a good episode as well. That was my second option. So if somebody's like, why didn't you show her that one? That was my second choice, but I liked this one just as much. So what was your thoughts on this one?
I thought this one was good. I do think this group can be funny. Yeah, I know you say I have something against all your shows, but I do think this group is funny. They're not as... There was stuff on that Brooklyn Nine-Nine that they did that I was just like, why? You didn't need to do that. Like, sometimes I felt like they were reaching a smidge. Like, they should have just pulled back a second more and it would have been, like, right there. But, like, they were... Like, where this group is, like, they're very funny.
I think it's funny. This also makes it funnier because this feels so realistic. Out of any workplace show I've ever watched, I think Superstory... Like, literally in my comments, I think you could walk into a Walmart and see that.
Yeah, I thought, like, the decorations were good. However, I don't think you would see decorations in Walmart or Target. So that's the only thing that's weird is that they do decorate the store, but I still liked it because, you know, I think they should. But because I literally, our stores don't look like this.
Yeah, no, it's not. But I think the chaos that ensued as far as, like, the ensemble of the cast, you could have seen that going on.
Oh, yeah. Store. I mean, I think the costumes were good. Yeah. But again, how would you know who was who? Because they were in costume and you
they had their name tags on still.
No, I don't think they did.
Nobody had their name tags on? No. I know the other season they did.
Because I was looking for that. I was like, all right, well, wait, do they have...
They've worn them before, though.
They didn't have... But that was my only concern. Was that, like, in realistic world, like, how would you know who they were if they had their, you know...
True, I didn't...
But that's right. Dina's costume, a bit much. But but I think for her
character.
Her character, she was security, clearly, so I get it.
She's not.
So why was she looking at security cameras?
She's actually the assistant manager, so she's high up there, but...
I thought she was assistant manager to yes. What's her name?
But, so that costume has been a running gag through all their Halloween costumes. She wears that Halloween costume every year. Oh. So it's like, see, that's one of the things, in my opinion, where you do miss out on not watching the show. That's her costume.
Yeah, but you know what, though? See, like, yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, that's something that would have been good to know. But this show, I did rank one of the definite ones you could watch without watching the rest of the show and still find it funny and still find it enjoyable because, yes, like, I'm sure there were little, like, things that would make it, like, I guess for someone that isn't watching it, you could call it, like, it's a little Easter egg for you that you know. But, like, I was able to, like, I still thought it was very funny without knowing, like, the HR. I assume there was probably an HR thing, to be honest with you, because of the way they said it. The costume thing, no, I wouldn't have that one I wouldn't have caught. But I think for her character and the way she depicts herself, I thought it was...
that's the whole joke of the costume is, like, you don't see...
I would never assumed anything different, yeah.
You've seen other episodes, so you know she comes just typically in, like, slacks and a blue polo.
Yeah.
So it's, like, it's out there for her character. The only other thing I think that you would miss, obviously... Amy and Jonah are in a relationship, but you missed out on the previous knowledge from when one of the other coworkers, Kelly, comes into the show. You missed out on knowing. I mean, they kind of alluded to that they dated in the past, but you didn't know there's like a whole big history to that.
Yeah, but I caught on right away that she definitely dated him. So even though I didn't know like the specifics,
but yeah,
like I knew this was an ex-girlfriend or something. That was weird, and obviously they were all okay to be in the same room together. But you know,
and one thing too that I noticed too was you asked me at the end of the episode because one of the big things is they get these union cards, they put them in the bag, and they get sent to the new district manager. So that left cliffhanger where you asked me like, did she see the cards? So it left you with a cliffhanger where you want to know in the next episode.
That's what I said about this. Like the other one was kind of like where like Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Like I didn't have after that. I was like, I'm good. Like I don't have any desire to like ask like, oh, what did happen? Like where this one, they peppered it with just a little bit of the story. Mm-hmm. Like they didn't go too deep into anything else. Like everything else that was in the story was Halloween related. Like you're gonna have to help me with the names.
Glenn and Garrett in the garden center haunted house.
Yeah, that one, but no, the other two, the one that dressed like Fred and
Mateo and Cheyenne. Yes.
So they were talking about how Dina they thought she was the serial killer
of the foot.
Yes. There was this like fur,
which they do end up revealing on the last episode of the whole entire show.
Oh, who the person was?
Yeah.
But like, so like their whole thing was kind of like they brought a topic in that I guess you would say would be gruesome, so it could be Halloweenish. So like that's what they were on, and then like Garrett and
Glenn
they did like, which this part I could see maybe somebody doing a little haunted house in the garden center. That could be cute if they wanted to promote something.
Down by now, yeah.
But they again were holiday themed, like where he was scared of haunted houses and the other one was eating candy corn. And it's like they kept it like in a holiday theme. Like I thought they were the best at
having side plots and keeping it in the theme.
Keeping it Halloween themed because but then they just kept that little so that it wasn't an episode that stood alone. They did keep something that was important to what they were doing throughout the whole like season, which is these union cards.
One of my biggest pet peeves with some sitcoms are actually we haven't recorded our weekly podcast yet, but I'm actually going to mention not this week because I'm not going to I started watching American Auto. Next week's podcast, I'm going to talk about, I wanted to get a little bit into sitcoms, and one of my pet peeves, though, I'll just tell you a little bit, is they sometimes will have, like, there'll be, like, a small little bit of the story that they follow through, but they kind of can drop it for an episode and then come back, or, like, the episodes are not a domino effect of each other. That's my sometimes pet peeve with sitcoms. All right, so as far as costumes for them, Amy was Ruth Gator Ginsburg. Can you say it? Because I'm
Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Yeah, okay.
Is it Ginsburg?
Ginsburg?
Oh, boy.
I get tongue-tied every time I messed
RBJ.
it. So.
RBG.
RGB.
Ruth Gator Ginsburg?
Ginsburg.
Oh, my God. This is horrible.
We're so sorry.
She comes right up. Let's see. Ruth
Bader Ginsburg.
Ginsburg, yes.
RBG, you're right.
Sorry,
I said T.
miss.
Apologies.
Rest in peace.
Yes, I'm so sorry. We said Dino is a cop. Garrett is Indiana Jones, but I don't think they call him Indiana Jones because I think that's a licensing issue. Glenn was a chef. Mateo was Fred. Cheyenne was Red Riding Hood. Jonah was a cowboy, and then he ends up being a greaser. And then Kelly comes. She's a cowgirl. She then also ends up being a greaser. And Marcus is a dragon. So out of these, who was your favorite?
I think... What is Ruth Bader Ginsburg's name, I guess?
Amy.
I thought it was, but I'm like, no, maybe I'm thinking of the other show.
No, that's they're both A's, and their boyfriends' names both start with a J.
Yeah,
Jonah and Jay.
I thought Amy's was funny. I think in the line of the funniest.
She usually has good comment.
I thought that was funny. And considering that she is in charge, she would be a judge, so she'd be the judge and jury of the group. I thought it was very appropriate that she would do that. I think their costumes were very on point with their character.
Yeah, their costumes typically very much, even in other episodes, fit.
I thought they were very... Because even Fred, the one that was just like Fred.
Yeah.
Fred's a little bit of a playboy, and I think Mateo acts that way on the show. Like, he's very, like flirty and
kind of. I don't know if he has a boyfriend yet.
But he's very, like, flirty and, and even the other...
Well, it also fits because they're, like, trying to be detectives as well.
Yeah.
And that,
exactly.
You know what I mean? It fits his character for that right there.
And you don't get any more American because I know he's trying to become an American citizen.
Yes, you do. Well, you know that because you
right.
were there for that episode.
One I watched,
You were there when immigration took him away that episode.
When ICE came and got him. And the girl that was dressed as Red Riding Hood. Cheyenne. She's very flashy. So the fact that
she's like a teen mom. She's like the youngest of the group.
The fact that she had a Red Riding Hood costume that was... Yes and no, because she did have the cape, but it was very... the whole bustier was like red sequins and whatnot. It was very flashy. Yeah, it was very flashy. So, and I don't even know really her character, but just based on how her character acted here, I was like, that's very appropriate. And Amy's boyfriend... Jonah.
He was the cowboy.
Listen, he changed his costume twice. Now, did I think that was an interesting concept of how she changed her costume so she wasn't dressed like Jonah, and then Jonah comes and changes his costume, and still somehow they end up having a similar costume? Yes. But do I think that's who his character is? Very flip-floppy? Yes. Like that 1 minute he's that, 1 minute he's not. Maybe you can tell me I'm wrong because you watch them better, but that's I think
literally the reason.
I think he's very true.
That Kelly was there, and the issue was because he didn't want to commit to being that he wanted to. He didn't tell Amy that he liked her, and even at the end, he doesn't know if he wants to go to California.
I think it's like one of those things where people would say, "Oh, were those intentional?" I absolutely think they were intentional.
Yeah,
and I think Dina's costume as the cop was intentional because she acts like she's in charge of everything. So I wouldn't be surprised that she's not like going to be the top dog of
I picked Dina's just because
I do think
it's the running
good.
gag of the show. So like knowing my knowledge on that, I think it is like it adds that to it. Like Visually, though, like, who had the most stellar costume? Marcus as the dragon. That costume was impressive. Yeah, like,
but I mean, and
everything.
his was the funniest too because he was very unaware of his surroundings.
Yeah, it's Marcus.
Yeah,
though, like in general, like that unaware, it's him.
So I mean, I thought that was funny, but I also think like sometimes watching if I know for myself, I get at a loss for costumes.
Yeah,
I used to be like, oh. But I noticed watching these, I'm like, shoot, should have really watched some sitcoms because sometimes they put up some really good ideas for costumes. Mm-hmm. Like, some of them no, but some of them yes. Like, some of the stuff I wouldn't have never thought. And I'm like, All
right. On to Modern Family. This is Halloween 3, Awesome Land, Season 6, Episode 6.
Yeah, and they're another one that it's a tradition. You know.
Yeah, a tradition to...
The Halloween episode is very
mostly.
Big for them. Well, for Modern Family,
I know they didn't do one every season, though. I don't think. I remember...
No, they did. Oh, yes.
Yeah, but how are we on Halloween 3 in Season 6?
What do you mean?
How are they doing their third Halloween on Season 6?
I have Episode 6.
Season 6, Episode 6. I know, but I'm saying how are they only doing their third Halloween special on Season 6 if they've done one every year?
Who said it was the third Halloween special?
Halloween 3 Awesome Land. That's what it was called, the title of the episode.
I don't know.
But it is very big.
But I do remember them having every...
We did also, like, binge watch that in, like, a couple of days.
Yeah.
Remember that? We were staying up late at night watching that.
Yeah, it was really... Modern Family is just that good.
Yeah. Don't sleep on it.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, it's become a big thing, though, for Modern Family that they had it every year. And Claire it's her holiday.
It's her holiday.
She's crazy, crazy fanatic. She loves scary. And she admitted in this one that, like, her version of, like, adrenaline is to be scared. Yeah. So, like, I think that's why she likes it so much. And, of course, the theme of it is straight up Halloween. Like, she
Halloween
wants
day.
it spooky, scary. It's Halloween day. Yeah, it's 31st. Like, they're not dancing around it. Scarier the better, the spookier, the witchier, the spiritier. Yeah, they don't care. They don't really some of them do get dressed up in costumes, but for them
I was kind of
they don't really dress in costumes because it's more like the theme of the outside of their front yard that they do. They're more about the decor. They're more about the decor. They did an asylum this time, so they were of course like they looked like zombie
patients. Well, they were like patients. She was like a nurse and things like that.
So they do that kind of stuff. So it's not costume. But the other two...
Kim and Mitch or Gloria and Jay.
Well, yeah, Gloria. And they did dress
do their costumes.
Yeah, they did
Which I will say, like, even though Gloria and Jay had a storyline, like, it was a much smaller one compared to the other two. Like, they were definitely
Yeah, they're all back players. Yeah, they're all back players when it comes to the Halloween because it's all about Claire and her family and what they're doing there.
I do think I liked Kim and Mitch's storyline a little bit like better.
Yeah,
I just thought it was funny with the Where's Waldo, like him constantly losing Lily.
And again, that's a simple costume, folks. Dress the kid as Waldo, and you're the wizard. It is a very simple costume. Nothing crazy there, but
as far as. Is it on a Halloween theme? Yeah, because I think this is a realistic. Yeah. I think also like the what I like about Modern Family is they always, since there's 3 families, there's 3 different takes on what's going on in the thing. So you see, like somebody with a kid who has to go to school and do Halloween.
Yeah, and then what's her name? The other boy was. Oh my God! Why can't I think of his name?
What the hell is his name? You remember his name? Why can't we remember his name?
That's bad.
I know. He was barely in the episode.
Yeah, but when it was about him, like, this
was
his
last Halloween.
Yeah, this was his last Halloween. I know it's going to be something stupid that we're going to be like, oh my God.
Manny.
Oh my, I knew it was something stupid, simple like that.
Yeah, Manny. It was his last.
Yeah, this was his, like, last Halloween. He wanted to go out with a bang, and his costumes are never anything good. He dressed up like Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, they're big in his head, but like nothing.
Yes, in his head it was like, he looked just like him in his mind, but which he did. I mean, clothes-wise it was fine, but yeah, let's be real. But I also think you could watch this independently without watching the whole season.
I think so.
I think it would be funnier if you did, of course, if you knew they're all who they were, but I think you get a sense of exactly what their characters are like.
And you don't need any knowledge on... You don't need any pre-knowledge or anything to understand, because they do explain that this is Claire's holiday, but today Phil's taking over it. And because they also have the families divided, you don't have to be like, who's in this family? You just, I mean, the only thing is you don't know how they're all related.
Yeah, not necessarily, but yeah, you don't know but it's still, they're funny independently.
Like,
of not knowing that.
I was actually thinking that, like, this you could even, if you wanted to test out this show and you wanted to do also like a holiday binge watch, this is a good show to test it out on. even though I think the pilot of the show is probably the funniest pilot I've ever watched in any of my sitcoms. Like, it's generally, like, sitcom pilots can be, like, a little, like, but this show's sitcom pilot is the funniest one I've probably ever seen. Favorite costume? It's kind of hard. I was probably going to go, like, as a joint with, I thought, the Where's Waldo one. I thought that was cute that they matched.
I thought that one was cute, too. I did like it's wasted on you, but the working girl. The one with the blonde wig that the youngest daughter had on, because I thought that was pretty on point. When Dad and I liked the way Phil was dressed with the
it was like a rainbow smiley face and the top hat.
It was cute.
Also, I think even like the costumes that they did wear for the small amount fit the characters, like how we were saying with Superstore. Like they did match perfectly.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, what's her name took the Haley took the
firefighter suit, and even the
nurse
but
she had the fire suit. But when she was in the hospital gown, she turned it around and like tried to make it fashionable. And the mom's like, I think you have it on backwards. She's like, no, Mom, even psychos are fashionable. They can still be fashionable, or something like that. So like, they definitely did try to make it more for
All right, on to our next one, Abbott Elementary. Season 2, episode 6. This literally just aired this past week. I'm going to talk about it in our weekly episode as well, like in detail. But for right now, we're going to do this one. This one's called Candy Zombies.
Yeah, I think they did like really well. Yeah. Working in a school, I will say, it does give an exact feel of what it's like on the teacher side for Halloween.
I will say, in my school, they never actually tried to teach us. Like, they actually seemed like they were trying to teach. Like, Melissa was teaching, like, Halloween themed, but, like, nobody actually sat down. They just gave us...
I think they tried to do a little bit of a Halloween theme thing, but I don't always know that it was successful. But I think because it's usually just mayhem and chaos, and making sure the kids are not sucking down candy.
Waiting until the parents come in and throw the Halloween party.
Yeah, it's usually after the Halloween parties that, like, how the people came in, it's usually, like... Why are we doing this to ourselves? Because we need to just send them home sugared up, because it used to be mayhem after they had the cakes and the cupcakes and the crap, and oh my god, it was bad news. So I think they did really good representing Halloween too, because they started right off with giving you like a little spooky story from the janitor, and I thought their costumes were all really good too. Yeah, because they looked homemade, but not enough that they looked cheesy like. Yeah, like
I will say Ava is Storm, and I don't know, I think you might have been walking like on the other side of the kitchen, you might have missed it. She did say, "Oh, don't touch my costume, I need to get my deposit back on it," meaning she didn't make it, she clearly bought it, rented it from somebody else. So like that explains why hers is so good.
Yeah, because that's if they had a really good one, it was because she did that. Where like one of the teachers dressed up like Wanda from WandaVision, which I feel like anybody could have made that.
And she said, even said why it's so good, it's from July. Yeah, so it makes sense why hers is...
But it was, like, you could believe that she has been working on it for that long, I mean, and the rest of them, too. Like, I thought they were all pretty decently, like, and there was one that was dressed like a spelling bee. I've seen that in school. So it's very realistic. That is how 90% of the teachers do it. They throw some
somebody who's
crap
like
together.
like I always picture her as like the mom of the school.
Yeah,
like the one you go to the wisdom.
They throw that kind of
like they've been in the school so long, they're gonna just wear something simple.
Yeah, so I could see that. And then they had a good theme about like the kids and the candy and them getting crazy. And I thought it was cute how the one kid like went cuckoo off the rail with the candies and stuff. Because there is one kid that will always test the patience.
I was not that kid. I was the quiet kid. I was always the teacher's favorite because of my anxiety. I didn't talk, so I always ended up being the favorite.
I do think that this would have been better if I watched the show. Yeah. Because this one definitely had a lot of... And I don't know if it's just because it was like its second year starting out. I do feel like I had missed a lot of things that were established that could have helped me.
It's really the relationships.
Yeah, I feel like I didn't know their backstories, and I think I lost a lot in that.
Yeah, it's mostly Janine because she had broken up with her boyfriend in between the seasons, and then Gregory kind of had a relationship, and it's like this one you don't know, but if you've watched the past episodes, like the one real continuous thing in these episodes is that like Gregory and Janine have a thing for each other, so it's kind of like that. But the pro with this show is this is only season 2, and there's not that many episodes.
Oh, no, yeah, you could
so
go back
you could actually watch all of this,
no,
unlike the other shows where we're like.
But I just felt like it would be better if I had watched the entire series, because there were points where it was like like trickier to figure out like, well, wait, what are they doing? And I'm not sure what's going on. So I mean, it would have been, I think it just would have been funnier. But I did think the funniest thing they did was they had the kid that was stealing the candy was Baby Thanos.
Yeah.
Or they kept calling him Baby Thanos. I mean, he wasn't on a Baby Thanos, but his costume was cute too. But he was Baby Thanos, and like I said, there was a Wanda, and then the janitor.
The janitor was
not dressed
little
as Vision,
Vert,
but he had
a crystal on his head.
Yeah,
so
the
he
yellow like Play-Doh.
Vision,
It
so
looked
everybody
like
thought
Play-Doh
he
or
was
something.
Vision.
So they were saying it was Vision, and at the end, the Baby Thanos goes and takes his crystal off his head and like.
It's from Infinity War when he pulls the stone and they recreate it.
Yeah, and then Wanda starts screaming, "No!" I mean, it was just like for those people that watched like.
It's a good one for Marvel fans.
Yeah, because it was funny, like where you were like, "Oh crap!" It wasn't just the costumes were cute. Like,
they
really were tipping their hats to the
benefit from Disney owning ABC. Basically,
exactly.
Like
so that's where I think it pays off is that by Disney owning so many things, like you can, use the rights and use it, and it's
easier to get them approved.
Yeah, because it made it really funny.
As far as your favorite costume from these guys, who is yours?
I honestly, you know what? I liked the Wanda one because I thought
Melissa.
Yeah, I
thought it looked like it.
Yeah, I thought it looked like it, and I thought it was simple enough that somebody could actually do it.
Yeah, like they didn't go for just in point. They used Wanda's Halloween costume from WandaVision.
Yeah.
Or like her traditional comic outfit.
Yeah.
They didn't go and say we're gonna make like the detailed Scarlet Witch from like.
But you knew who she was, and it was cute enough, and it was cute,
Don't fall, Cooper.
Would I have worn that to school? Absolutely not, because you just would never wear a bodysuit and leggings.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that was the only thing.
And I was with preschoolers, so not that they're gonna be looking at you like crazy, but I just wouldn't have done it. Other than that, I'm trying to think of who else I would have thought. I mean, I thought the Star one was good, but being that she said she rented it.
Yeah, no, that costume was amazing.
Yeah.
That it just visually.
I know who I thought was the best. The little kid dressed up like the janitor.
Yes.
I mean, he was really funny because they had him be the one to like. Well, I don't want to go into it too much, but he was very on point, and the janitor was just very on point with being upset with his likeness or something. It was funny.
Which, if you watched my first time talking about season 2 of Abbott, I said upping the janitor, Mr. Johnson, to a recurring cast member was the best decision. Because he's that character that just throws those lines in that you're not like.
Yeah, he's the one in the corner that you're not expecting and just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely good.
But I do agree. I think it's very realistic.
But whose costume did you like? You didn't say.
Melissa's a Scarlet Witch.
Oh, okay.
I'm biased though to Scarlet Witch, but I just think visually it looks really good. I do think Ava's also visually looked very well. Those would be my picks.
Yeah.
Time for your show.
The Big Bang Theory. Now, believe it or not, I hadn't seen this one because
really,
because like I said, I got a little lost in the end, and this is season 12, episode 5.
Yeah, this is the last season, I guess, of the show, right? Because it's over now. I think so, right?
So I have to get to these last couple of. I think it's this season and the season before. I didn't know she had a baby.
Blonde hair.
Yeah.
No.
Howard's wife. I didn't know she had a baby.
Bernadette.
Bernadette. I didn't know she had a baby. So. I heard rumor of it, but I forgot when I was watching. I'm like, who the hell are you talking about? To me, this is a show that you definitely need to know the backstories.
Yeah,
you could watch it by itself, of course, but to really get a lot of what they were doing, you need to know the backstories.
Yeah,
because they overlook a lot character-wise, to each other, and it's Howard dressed up like Sheldon, and he hit all of Sheldon's quirky points that if you didn't know how he acted, it wasn't as funny. To me, it was I thought it was funny because I knew that. So that's the thing.
See, I do have I've heard you watching the episodes, or I've been in the room when you had one on, so I do know how
Yes, yeah.
he acts. But I mean, the only pro is I feel like Big Bang Theory. I'm not saying these other shows aren't huge, but I feel like it is really big that people do.
Well, it's like Friends. You still know who the characters are, and you know kind of what their character is like. But it's he's got so many they try to explain something to him, and Howard went into using the Star Wars and a Chewie and where that's why I said to you, I think you'd like it only because they absolutely reference more Star Wars, Marvel, DC kind of stuff. Yeah, because that's what they are. They're 4 nerds that are scientists and are into all this all this stuff. But
now my one comment has actually nothing to do with it being Halloween, I told you this. I don't understand how Penny and Leonard are together. Now, I know it's probably supposed to be like, oh, the pretty girl with the nerdy guy.
Yeah.
And I get that. It's not even about that. It's not like a look thing. It's like they act like sometimes they don't like each other, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, they, like, just the way, like, even, so, like, I don't know much about the relationship, but one of the things they were talking about was, like, where the first kiss was, where she was like, I kissed you, but I don't even want our first kiss to be what our actual first kiss was. I don't know, it was just something.
Well, because, see, again, that's the backstory. Like, I knew that, like, she was still dating this other guy and that she wasn't willing to admit that she liked him. And so, like, it's, yeah, like, I got when she said that, like, why she did that. But, like, that's what I'm saying. I think this was definitely one that watching the show would have been, would have made it funnier. But they were definitely, like, Halloween heavy on the theme and stuff. So, I mean,
and I
that
didn't
was
have to
good,
guess the, like, who was in a relationship.
Oh,
like,
you
it was
know.
obvious.
You know
like,
who
this
too.
is the last season, so you knew, like, obviously the couple should be assembled by now. Either you're either with somebody or you're not. The computer locked, so I don't know if it just muted me for a second, but what I was saying was, like, the couple should be assembled by now. You're either with somebody or you're solo at the final one. But I did think it was funny, and I'll probably give the show a try after I finish all my Peacock shows I have to watch, which are quite a few, but they're only like one season. And then I might watch V before this. So, coming soon to our weekly podcast, I may give you a little review on this. Maybe.
Jump right back in there.
Well, yeah, you can catch up when I get to the season you haven't watched.
Yeah. I mean, I it was funny because, like, then you had Sheldon and Amy dressing up as Howard and Bernadette. Yeah. And, like, what I like about them is they do tease each other and the characters, but then they do in the end, like, they always work it out. So, I mean, it's, you know, it's nice. It's one of my favorite comedies.
I think they were probably my favorite costume, them dressing up. Either any of the people that dressed up as each other, but also their original Halloween costumes of Doc Brown was, like, really good.
Yeah, they were funny.
Those were, like, really
Yeah, he was not. And they, oh my God.
Amy?
No, I've lost his name. Oh my God, the one that lives with Sheldon. The one that was dressed like Gadget. Inspector Gadget.
Oh, Leonard.
Leonard was Inspector Gadget. Yeah. And another Ruth Bader Ginsburg was there, but it was Tooth. He called him because his name is Cuther Polly. Oh. So he was Cuther Bader Ginsburg.
Yeah, I think he was the only name I didn't like. No, there was only a few of them. I had to look up their names, I will not lie.
But, Cuther Polly is like 20 letters long. You don't need to go there. But
when I looked it up, they said his name was Raj.
Well, they call him Raj, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Cuther Polly is his last name.
And also, I don't know if you looked at the dessert table that they had. That food looked good.
I know.
That cake they had.
I saw the cake too. Yeah.
That's what I saw when she was over there.
Their decorations I thought were on point too for decorating the apartment.
What the hell was Penny? I said she was a girl from Oktoberfest.
Yeah, she was.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what she was.
All right, I got that. I guess that one right. I wasn't too sure.
That was very Penny-esque. Yeah.
Okay. And I was also a little confused, not because I've seen the show too. I was like, I thought I heard that Kelly Coco, whatever the hell her last name is, left.
Yeah, no.
No, but I was like, no, there she is. I thought she left to do the Harley Quinn show. But
she was just all over the place.
All right, now, woof. Next one up. Now, if Dean, you end up listening to this, just skip ahead.
Okay.
The Friends episode, the one with the Halloween party,
which 8, they do that 6. For every episode. It's the one with.
I love that though with shows. I think that's my favorite. I like. iCarly does it, Big Time Rush. Those are children's shows I'm naming, but I always think that's such a unique thing to have, like, a shtick to your title naming.
Yeah.
My issue now with Friends, now that I've actually sat down and watched a full episode, besides the pilot episode, because I do say you can't judge a show on a pilot episode, in my opinion, I think their humor is like a goofy humor, and I think that's my issue. I don't have goofy humor.
Sometimes they were very funny, and then sometimes you're just like, dude, no, like, I don't.
It was a little too cheesy for me.
Yeah, sometimes it was a little
cheesy.
It was like reaching. It was like I was saying.
It's corny. They have corny humor.
Yeah, and it's not always funny. Yeah. Like with Big Bang, I used to like laugh out loud.
To the point where I was in my bedroom with headphones and I would hear. I'm not going to actually mimic
I could see Superstore. Like I could laugh like that on Superstore. I think
no,
that would be a
Superstore is
funny
the show where I think I've laughed.
Yeah, I could see that being very funny. And like laughing out loud.
Yeah,
and,
it was more like it wasn't even like, you know when you laugh and you do like a puff out of the nose.
Yeah,
it was more like a a smirk.
Or it was like more sarcastic comedy where you were like, okay,
and I like
good one.
Sarcastic humor,
like type of thing like that.
Because I will say, my favorite characters from the other shows are like April and Rosa, and their comedy was not on display in their episodes, but their sense of humor is the humor that I will tend to make, where you don't expect it, but I think that's the funny humor to me. Like, I do like, I'm not gonna lie, I like little fart and poop humor.
Well, that was where we thought was funny, was when he called him a duty. A duty instead of, Spudkin. Like, some of it's like, okay, I get it. Like, it's just more funny to watch Ross walk in dressed as a big brown blob with an antenna on his head. But, like the premise behind it was like, okay, I get it, but it's not that fun. It wasn't that funny in certain respects.
Him explaining it. Also, I have an issue with laugh traction.
Did Dean ever say that he watched the show because he thought it was super funny, or because he just liked the show? There's a difference. I like the show, but do I think of it as a funny,
good ensemble cast,
crazy, funny comedy? I don't know.
Like
I like the show,
good ensemble
but
cast.
I don't know.
Like, I thought Rachel was quite funny. Like, I thought her humor was good. I thought Phoebe was good. Like, it was a good I guess you would call it like ditzy humor. Like, she had a good where it was kind of
she does it really well. Where like she.
Like, her ditzy
she's
humor,
not trying to
I liked
ditzy.
better than Joey's.
She believes that she's totally ditzy.
Like, Joey's ditzy humor, I didn't like it.
No, he's
to me. Like, hers, I liked. Monica was okay.
But see, that's the thing. Is like, I think this one, you definitely really need to know the characters and watch the show, because, like, first of all, we didn't know Rachel was pregnant because we're jumping in. I mean, she mentioned it, and that's how you figured it out.
I didn't know who Ursula was at all.
When
she
not,
first showed up, I was like, who the hell is she?
She's not. Rachel is not kid friendly. She's all very.
Keep going. I'm gonna ask Dean if he thought Friends was a funny show,
or if he just likes the show. Yeah,
we're gonna get an exclusive interview right now.
But like, so there was things like that. Like, so the fact that she was trying to please kids, but then when a kid came to the door, she's telling it to shut up. Like, that was very Rachel. But if you don't know her character, and like Monica, like,
I thought it was funny, but that's because I don't like children.
Yeah, like, she got very upset because when she asked Joey, like, who would win in a fight.
What was the question again? How funny it was?
Do you think it's funny, or do you just like the show because you like the show?
Okay.
That's the thing. It's like knowing Monica's character, who's very like, gotta win, gotta be the best, gotta be the best. Like,
I mean,
she,
I kind of
started that
term. I'm sorry. I sent it in the group chat. I kind of got that about their characters, but yeah, I do think it's like the same thing where it's like, this is also season 8, so it's pretty far in the show where their quirks are well established. Yeah. They don't have to explain it.
But the thing is, like, you don't, like, I didn't know who Ross was with at the time, and I've watched the show, but I've lost track of stuff that was going on, but I didn't know who Ross was with. Like, I didn't, at that point, I was like, is he still with Rachel? Is he not with Rachel? Who's the baby? Like, there was a lot of, like...
Oh, he's answered back. Well, that was really quick. Oh my God, the phone's blowing up. I just love all of it. Every single thing about it. That's an exclusive.
Okay, so that's not saying it's funny.
No, he didn't say it was funny. No, he said he loves everything about it.
So he likes the show. It's not that he thinks they're super funny. So there you go.
No, my shows, I genuinely think are funny. Like, I think they're super funny. Also, they were like, Parks and Rec holds a special place in my heart because it was the first sitcom I've ever watched. So, like, it's like when you have like a natural bias to things, that's my natural bias. Like, that's my show. Like, I'm not gonna,
But like, as far as like costumes and stuff go, like, that is exactly what I would expect from them. Yeah. Rachel with no costume and trying to justify wearing that fancy dress because she's bought it and she'll be pregnant and she won't be able to wear it. Like, Ross coming up with a wackadoo costume that is so, like, wifed, and Joey imitating Chandler, not surprised, and Ross coming in with some thing that nobody would understand. Again, from me, who knows these characters, not surprised. I got his costume.
He was the pink bunny, the sister to Lisa Rinna's blue bunny.
Well, there you go for that. Yeah. I was not surprised. The only one that I knew would come in an actual costume was Phoebe. Yeah, I knew she would come in an actual costume.
And also their costumes looked like something you could have got at Party City too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, realistic
That's
costumes.
What I'm saying. Like, they were not.
Maybe just Chandler's, because like, where the hell did she get that bunny from?
She probably.
You can't walk that.
She probably rented that or something.
That was something serious.
Yeah.
Also, I'm just gonna throw this out here for any friends, so you can get mad at me. Don't worry though. Dean has already done that. We started play on the episode. We paused because we're like, oh wait, we gotta go get something. And Joey had on a fire department shirt for New York. And I was like, wait, is he a firefighter? But here's the best part. We paused it. I text him and I go, is he a firefighter? And as soon as I press play, they go, well, you're an actor, Joey.
Like, could have waited 2 more minutes
2 seconds and I would have known. Yeah, so I do want to press your lock button. We'll mute it.
Oh, that's just him texting back.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was my fault. Who was your favorite costume? I'm going to go with the bunny. I thought the bunny was funny.
I think the bunny was very funny too.
Visually, though, best costume. The potato costume was pretty impressive, I'm not gonna lie. Like, that was
Yeah.
looked like a real potato.
Yeah.
But I was gonna probably say either Catwoman or Supergirl, I think. I think they looked like, you know.
I thought the bunny was cute, though. Like, I know it was meant to be like, oh, look at you now, fool. But, yeah, it was so cute.
It was a good bunny costume.
Yeah, it was a good bunny costume.
Alrighty. Our last show. I don't even want to. Parks and Rec. Season 4, Episode 5, Trick or Treat. Now,
She's looking at my screen and there's one line.
There's one line. I have one line, too. I am thoroughly disappointed in my show. They're so disappointed. We watched, actually, 2 episodes. We also watched Season 5 episode.
And it really felt like, although this one had at least a Halloween party, as April and Andy had a party, it still did not feel like it was a Halloween episode.
No, so the first one we watched, they had Halloween in, like, the courtyard. And I picked that one specifically because Jerry had the fart attack, and I think that's so funny, that scene, the farting. Yeah. I said I'm not against any kind of farting and poop humor, so I thought that's hilarious. So I was like, oh yeah, and then I forgot the other half of the episode is raising money to pay for his hospital bill. This one, yes, they had a house party, but also the other half of it was Leslie campaigning for City Hall.
Yeah, and it somehow, I know it doesn't make sense to say this, but it really felt like that somehow, like, dominated.
It did, definitely.
But I felt like they had equal time on the party and that, but somehow I still felt like it dominated. I don't know why. Or, like, it just somehow shut down the party.
Yeah, if you want to watch Parks and Rec and you want a trial episode, don't pick the Halloween episodes. They are probably the poorest example of how funny this show can be. It's so disappointing.
Because I literally wrote April and Andy are... they are having a Halloween party, and it begins and ends there. Sorry.
Yeah, it's really, it's honestly disappointing to me that they, but do I think it's realistic to what's going on in that, like, not to the show, but to the town? Yeah, I think it's a house party in Pawnee. Even the other one was like a typical day in Pawnee, but also, like, who hosts, like, a business party on Halloween?
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
That was a little bit, like, weird. I don't know if they just had to drive the plot along at the same time.
I don't know. I thought it was a little,
Can it be a solo watch? I think Parks and Rec, even both episodes, you miss out on some key context.
Yeah, I don't think you can watch it.
No. And like, I don't think it's that
I did. I went into that and I had no idea what was going on, and I left it having no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I understood who was together kind of after the fact, but I was just like, what are we doing? Like, I'm like, what are we doing here?
In the house party, you missed the main joke of Ben, he lives with April. Like, you know that, but, like, you don't know who Ben is, like, at heart, so it doesn't, you don't understand why he's so, like kind of like a, like, is it stickler, I guess you could say, like, kind of like that. And then, like, you also, like, now Leslie's running for city council, so you kind of missed that out. And it's like Leslie's time in government is such a pinnacle thing to the show that it's kind of like, it doesn't, it's just, let me tell you, you want a funny episode? Watch the flu season episode. That is probably my favorite episode. I think it's so funny. That one's an actual funny one. So maybe we'll watch that for, like, Christmas time, because everybody gets the flu. Not us, though. We wear masks. But so they severely disappointed.
So now,
ranking.
Do we want wait, did you say what costumes you liked the best?
Oh, my favorite costume was either I liked Gary as Mr. Potato Head.
I was going to say that.
Because I liked when April took the stomach out of, and I think that
upside down.
Or I thought April's was actually kind of funny, being a sumo wrestler after they lost weight.
That was funny.
That was kind of like an interesting take.
Yeah, those are my 2 choices as well.
Other than that, like, and in the other episode that we watched, nobody really dressed up. I'd probably pick Leslie as the Riveter.
I don't even remember it.
Yeah, you were falling asleep. She was also falling asleep during that episode. Yeah, it was right during the fire attack. I have that as a Funko Pop, so but just flexing really quick. So for the ranking, do we want to both say our number ones? We should start from the bottom, though, actually, and reveal the end. Sure. Okay, don't look at my list. All right, so all the way at the bottom for number 7. Should we say it at the same time?
Sure.
1, 2, 3.
Parks.
Friends.
Sorry, Parks. Sorry. I don't even know how. At least Friends dealt with the Halloween party. Yeah, at least they were on point with all Halloween.
But like I said, Parks and Rec, I'm biased to it. So there is a little bit of biasy in my list, but I can't put Friends at the bottom. Legally, I can't.
I see. I just said that even though they, it was just truly not into Halloween. Even though they had a party in the episode, it's still,
I still thought it was funny, though.
It just didn't seem Halloween focused. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe if they had more shenanigans in the Halloween party, I would have thought it was better, but no.
The didn't. Friends one, just to me, like, yes, it's Halloween, and they're all Halloween in a sense, but really besides Parks and Rec, but it's just more of like, to me, like, who did I find the funniest, who had the best costumes? Friends kind of let me down on that, in my opinion.
Okay, you can have your moment.
Number 6.
Friends.
Parks and Rec.
So we flip-flopped them.
Yeah, I mean, I could flip them either way, I will say.
I just said this was typical Friends. I think it would have been funnier if I knew where each one of the characters were in their lives right now. Like, I know the characters very well.
You need the knowledge.
But I think because I've been out of the loop with them, I think it would have made it funnier if I knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Number 5.
My 5 and 4 and my 2 and 3 are kind of tight, so don't be disappointed when I say this one.
Okay. My 5 is Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I went with another B, Big Bang Theory. Mm-hmm. Just because, like, I think it's the fact that I don't get, like, how you with the Friends. Like, I'm missing out on predetermined things, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I think Brooklyn Nine-Nine had a... I think it was a good idea that they did this. It just didn't seem very Halloween-ish because it was more about the heist. But I think it was a good idea to have them do this on Halloween because it'll just be like a specific, like, you'll wait for the Halloween episode even though it's not Halloween, like, you know what I mean? Like, they're smart in that,
like, it still fits with
it's still like a sneaky
I just think mine is just because I think I'm missing some of the things, and also like how much does it spoil to the plot as well? Like, it does spoil that the one girl had a baby. It spoils the couples. So if you wanted to start the thing, like, you do.
That's what I'm saying. Friends did that too. Like, they told you a lot of information that you didn't know.
And they even said that Ross is like, oh yeah, I've been in a lot of relationships. I got a lot of people pregnant. Like, divorced, I do know that, right? Ross is the father of Rachel's baby, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, I know that from just like general knowledge.
I think so. I don't know.
Oh, no. I know he had a baby with the other lady.
I don't think he is.
No?
I don't know. I don't think.
Then where the hell was her boyfriend?
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Ross. Oh, okay. I thought so. I thought like that was the father. Okay.
But I think there was somebody. I thought there was somebody else initially. That was passing for as the father. See, because I know that it says to be revealed to be. So I think she might have thought it was somebody else at first or something. I'm not sure.
Alrighty, let's move on to our next one. Yes? Number 4.
So number 4 for me was Abbott Elementary.
I picked Modern Family. Just, Modern Family's had better Halloween episodes, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, maybe.
And because the Awesome Land that he did, I know he was trying to do something drastically different, but it wasn't even like a Halloween theme. What the hell was Awesome Land's theme? It's like not like a holiday theme.
He was like trying to make it happy, though. That was his whole point. He was trying to not make it scary.
I know. I'm just saying, though, like, still, it's like a drastic difference. I do think it's funny, but yeah.
I mean, I think Abbott Elementary should definitely, if I could have tied them, maybe put them in the top 3. I think it was a very good representation of Halloween in school and the twist with the kids.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, well, not so much 4 and 5, but yeah, I guess 4 and 5. Like, Modern Family and Big Bang, I feel like could be on the same level for me.
I mean, I think they were good, though. I mean, like I said, could have had a little more back chat or talk, but I think they were good.
I think that episode of Modern Family, I don't know which one it was, but I remember when we watched it, the one where, I think it was the first Halloween one, where, like, she was going so over the top, Claire. Yeah. That one, I think, is maybe a funnier one. I think if it was that one, I would have put it in top 3. Yeah, that one was a good one, yeah. Alrighty. Number 3.
Modern Family.
I put Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So ours aren't entirely off. Like, we're like...
And honestly, Modern Family was just really good classic Halloween. Like,
it's like a traditional Halloween.
They go all they stick to that theme. Halloween is like Halloween all the way.
You can kind of see. I had more shows that out of these that I've watched, so there's like a bias to these where it's like Brooklyn Nine-Nine is like also another one where I'm like, I don't miss.
I think number 2 is the only one we got the same.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay, and go. Superstore.
Yeah, that was the only one.
I actually could put them for first, too.
I thought it was good. It was funny. It was enjoyable to watch. It wasn't overcomplicated. Like, it was one of those sitcoms where you sit down and you're just like, that was a good time laugh.
Yeah, you don't have to think about, like...
That's what I liked about Big Bang Theory. They're just a good time laugh. Yeah. Like, it's not like... It's just... They are a little bit more complicated. We have to do, like, listen and pay attention. But I felt like Superstore, like, I could just watch that and just be like, oh, that was funny. Oh, that little thing was funny or whatever.
I definitely think they're, like, probably one of my... Like, if I had The laptop went off and muted me, so now I don't even remember what I was saying. Now I'm choking.
You can go back and hear you.
Whatever, it's fine.
That's
I know what I was going to say.
Okay.
Superstore, though, I would put in my, like, top, one of my top 3 shows. If you were, like, rank your shows on how funny they are,
yeah,
I put it significantly at the top, if not first. Like, I think it's genuinely, like, I just re-binged that show, I think, the month before we started the podcast, and I genuinely laughed at it.
That's exactly kind of what I want to say about, like, Friends. Friends, yes, it's a comedy, but I feel like it's a comedy slash, like, with sprinkled with drama or more serious issues, because they do tackle, like, not always funny storylines. Not that they're not always funny, but, like, it's just, like, informational. Like, yeah, it's, like, Rachel with the baby and stuff. Like, that's just not, there's nothing really, like, where, like, I feel like this is just constant, like, it's meant to be a comedy. There's no, you're not guessing.
They do, like, they will have their serious things. Like, they've done
but I don't really think
immigration.
Yeah, but a lot of it is still done in, like, a real, like,
yeah, so where we still have fun.
That I watched, but like, it was hilarious. They're, like, trying to get him out of the store in a weird way. It was, like,
but still, it was, like, sad enough. I remember the first time I think I watched it, I might have, like, teared up a little bit, just because I loved Mateo as a character. A little bit. I get emotional with these shows. I get attached and invested. Number 1.
Big Bang Theory.
Abbott. I'm telling you, I did not expect the show when I first ever watched it to be one of my favorite sitcoms, and it is.
Yeah, well, Big Bang, just because it is my favorite, and I totally understood the inside jokes, so to me it was very
that's
funny.
The thing, too. It's like...
Yeah, you had to know the inside jokes to have it really, truly be funny for you.
For us, are biased because, like, they're shows that we've watched, you know, so we have, like, I have the knowledge on, like I said, the Abbott show, but I just think it's funny.
Well,
this is the one that I could have switched out with Superstore.
If I had never watched any of them, then I would say Superstore would have had to be in the top because it was the funniest.
Yeah,
and
I think
it was
I would
the most
have,
Halloween.
That's the one I would have switched
eccentric and a whole bit. So I mean, I would have said that one. Yeah.
So if you don't like our ranking, just know there's natural little bias in it because it's hard to not be biased.
And you can watch them yourself and rank them yourself.
Yes. If you're listening to us on YouTube, go ahead and comment it down below, or comment on YouTube. Go ahead. Why don't you go over to our YouTube, comment your ranking for these 7 episodes.
Yeah.
Or if you have another sitcom that you really like, because I know we were going to do also maybe 90210, but that's on Paramount and we don't have it.
No, but it's not.
Sitcom
it's not a sitcom. So, like, after I realized that, I'm like, yeah, not good. That's not going to work.
Yeah, we did cut out a few other shows that we were thinking. We were going to do, like, WandaVision and I think Boy Meets World. Girl Meets World is a spinoff. But we came to the conclusion, like, they're not like this. They're not like a workplace sitcom. Because all these kind of are. Or like more of like a set sitcom, like where they have like their one location. Yeah. Not that Girl Meets World isn't, or Boy Meets World. Sorry, I keep forgetting. So yeah, we hope you enjoyed our fun little Halloween theme episode. We'll be doing another themed episode for something in November. We haven't picked what we're gonna do yet. So if you have any ideas what you want to see us do for November, let us know. Miss Pop over there on your phone.
Sorry, we could be doing. We could always do a Thanksgiving or something.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine has Thanksgiving episodes. I do. What? You don't notice every time on my Instagram I always put the Brooklyn Nine-Nine clip of the turkey? I do it every year. Whatever, because nobody's caught on yet. So I'll have to keep posting it. Yeah, maybe we'll do something for Thanksgiving. I don't know how many Thanksgiving episodes there really are, though. And also, I just don't like Thanksgiving as a holiday, in my opinion.
Yeah,
it's a boring holiday. It's whatever. If you want to get together and be grateful for your family, do that on a normal day. That's true being grateful. All right, exactly. Sorry, Thanksgiving rant there. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll do something that and then Christmas, we're doing Christmas themed episodes. Yeah, we think more than just one because it's Christmas time.
Maybe comedy, and then maybe.
Movies. Well, we're going to figure that out. We still have a whole month, but
Then there's Guardians of the Galaxy one.
Well, those are going to be solo episodes that we're going to watch. So that's just get ready for that month.
Yeah, Halloween's going to be, Christmas is going to be jam-packed.
Pumped up.
Packed and pumped up, apparently.
What the hell does that even mean?
I don't know. You said it. You're just all hyped up on the new computer coming back.
I really am.
And I didn't kick the mic or move my feet at all.
No, you did pretty good.
Yeah.
All right.
That'll be later.
Yeah. So if you have any ideas for November, let us know. We'll come up. We have a whole list of things to do, of ideas. So we'll go through it and we'll get back to you. So go on our weekly podcast because that's typically where we'll announce our theme.
Yeah.
And our Instagram. Speaking of that, on Friday, we put out our Tales of the Jedi recap review and Andor. And then we did our final episode of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
So sad.
But guess what? Next Saturday, the air's kicking on, so we gotta hurry it up. We're gonna be doing OC. We're gonna do season 1 of OC.
Yeah, we're gonna start OC.
And then every Monday we do our weekly podcast where we talk about the shows that we've watched separately, and we spin a wheel and we talk about the news going on.
Yeah.
And I don't think we have any more bonus episodes because this was the bonus episode.
Yeah, well, we're done with October, so here comes Thanksgiving. Well, here comes November.
Fall,
and winter.
Wow.
I'm ready.
So here's some important things you should do. You can either give us a 4 or a 5. A 4 if you think we need to improve, but if you know that we're going to improve, you might as well just leave a 5. I mean, come on. Instead of having to come back and then change your score, just go ahead and leave it as a 5, you know? Oh, look, somebody probably just left a review. What does that say? 5? Yep, I bet it does.
Yeah, or it says Poshmark.
Poshmark?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Poshmark gave us a 5 review. Thank you so much, Poshmark. Sure. And make sure you subscribe to our podcast and turn on the notifications wherever you guys are listening so that you can know what if we throw out a secret surprise episode. What if? So you should make sure you subscribe and turn on those notifications. And if you're listening to us on YouTube, you can give us a thumbs up. Don't give us a thumbs down. Instead, leave a comment telling us how we can improve. And guess what? I don't think you're going to have anything to tell us to improve on because the computer's fixed. So, yeah. So thank you so much for listening or watching. And happy Halloween. We should have said that in the beginning, but happy Halloween. You want to go ahead and say your line?
Yes. Hit the button. Happy Halloween.